Dear students, earlier we have discussed about the byproducts of sericulture, present scenario of byproduct and waste utilization and waste generated in silk sector. We have also discussed about rearing of non-mulberry silkworms. In this session, let us discuss the importance of sericulture industry in sustaining the rural economy. Silk is nature's gift to mankind and a commercial fiber of animal origin other than wool. Being an eco-friendly, biodegradable and self-sustainable material, silk has assumed special relevance in present age. Promotion of sericulture can help in ecosystem development as well as high economic returns. Sericulture is practiced in India and India is the fifth largest producer of silk in the world. It has been identified as employment-oriented industry. All the sections of sericulture industry, namely mulberry cultivation, silkworm seed production, silkworm rearing, reeling and weaving of silk, collection of byproducts and its processing provide a large-scale employment, thereby a source of livelihood for the rural and tribal people. Sericulture industry is rated as the second largest employer in India. Owing to this peculiar nature, the Indian planners have identified sericulture as one of the best suited occupations for ideal growth and development of rural India. Mulberry sericulture has been traditional occupation in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Kashmir, Tasar 1 in Madhya Pradesh, Chota Nagpur division and Orissa, Muga 1 in Assam, Nagaland, Tripura and Eri 1 in Assam and West Bengal. Northeastern part of India is the only region in the world where all four varieties of silk are produced. Central and state level government silk departments are actively engaged in addressing the objective of promotion of sericulture in traditional as well as non-traditional regions. With the launching of massive developmental schemes, it is expected to gain an accelerated tempo of sericultural activities in the country, paving way for doubling the employment opportunities in phased manner, and thereby it may set to bring a soothing touch to the burning problem of acute unemployment in rural India and thus can check the rural migration to urban areas to a certain extent. Sericulture is an agro-based cottage industry involving interdependent rural, semi-urban and urban-based activities in which estimated participation of women is about 60%. Thus, in contrast to any other agro-based profession, the role of women in sericulture industry is dominating, which will be helpful for improving the status of women in family enterprises. Next, we will see about the status of sericulture in India. Silk is a way of life and no ritual is completed without silk in India. It is an inseparable part of Indian culture and traditions. Sericulture is the art and the technique of silk production. It is an ancient industry in India dating back to the 2nd century BC. Traditionally, India dwells in the rural areas. Its economy is largely dependent on the success of agriculture and allied farm activities, as more than 70% of the people's livelihood security is depending on this sector. Sericulture, being an agro-based enterprise, plays a predominant role in shaping the economic destiny of the rural people and fits very well in India's rural structure, where agriculture continues to be the main industry. India has been producing, using as well as exporting silk. All through its history, the silk industry has the patronage of kings and nawabs. The British government also tried to boost up the silk industry. However, till independence, the silk industry was never thought of at the national level. Each state followed its own rearing method used local races and local mulberry plant. Traditional reeling and weaving techniques are also different for each locality. Sericulture has progressed and extended in India after the setting up of the Central Silk Board. Sericulture requires conditions suitable for mulberry growth. Though mulberry, being a hardy perennial plant, grows in a wide variety of soil conditions and is also adaptable to be cultivated as a rainfed crop, irrigation is essential to get good quality leaves. Mulberry sprouts throughout the year in India, and good quality leaves can be harvested by using improved high-yielding varieties and adapting the package of practices. Sericulture is a labor-intensive industry. India, with its large population, has no labor problem. Sericulture does not require great skill, but only delicacy in the handling of worms, and it is ideally suitable for the unskilled family labor, particularly women folk, aged, handicapped, and children. Many educated youth are interestingly taking up sericulture under the self-employment schemes of the government. Sericulture is an ideal sideline activity for the rural people engaged in agriculture. Out of 6,38,588 villages in India, sericulture is practiced in about 52,360 villages, providing employment to about 7.52 million people. Sericulture is providing livelihood for 9,47,631 families. The pursuit of sericulture offers gainful employment to the rural masses. Being a labor-intensive, rural-based industry, it offers a qualitative and quantitative change in the poverty alleviation, the chain creation of employment from unskilled farm laborers to skilled artisans to all sections of rural folk. Sericulture involves low investment with frequent income with 5 to 6 crops per annum. Once the mulberry plantation is established, it will continue to yield consistently for 15 to 20 years with a minimum expenditure for maintenance. Division of mulberry garden into plots with alternate harvesting timings would enable the sericulturist to carry out silkworm rearing throughout the year continuously with 10 to 12 crops per year. Basic sericulture activities are village based, hence migration of people from rural to urban areas in search of jobs can be minimized. Among the 4 varieties of silk produced as in 2011-12, mulberry accounts for 79.23%, Eri 13.32%, Tassar 6.8% and Muga 0.54% of the total raw silk production in the country. Sericulture is an important labor-intensive and agro-based cottage industry providing gainful occupation to around 7.56 million persons in rural and semi-urban areas in India. In view of importance of sericulture enterprise for the rural development as well as its cultural bondage, in this session we will enlighten and discuss the significance of sericulture and strategies to be taken for the sustainable development of Indian sericulture industry for the rural development. Let's all know about the strengths and weaknesses. Silk is a way of life in India, occupied a prime position and carries an aura of royalty. It has a sacred place in the cultural heritage of Indians and it has merited mention at several places in the epic scriptures. It has also become the religious tradition for the Indian brides to wear silk saree in the marriage ceremony. Truly, silk has a fine blend with the cultural heritage of the Indians. Silk is indispensable in ceremonies and religious rituals, being a must in weddings and festivals. Traditionally, India dwells in the rural areas. Its economy is largely dependent on the success of agriculture and allied farm activities, as more than 70% of the people's livelihood security is depending on this sector. Sericulture as an agro-based is an economically rewarding enterprise consisting of several sets of activities and plays a predominant role in shaping the economic destiny of the rural people. India being blessed with prevalence of favorable climatic conditions, mulberry is cultivated in almost all states. The crux of Indian silk industry lies with the Indian traditional states of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Jammu and Kashmir and West Bengal. These 5 states collectively account for 95% of the total area under mulberry cultivation and 92% of raw silk production in the country. Now, as a result of growing realization, sericulture is gaining ground in non-traditional areas too. Sericulture is best suited to a country like India, where manpower and land resources are in surplus, and sericulture has potential to provide employment at home for the entire family members by way of chalky rearing, cocoon production, silk reeling, hand spinning, etc. And it is women friendly. Domestic chores can be attended conveniently combined with productive work. India enjoys the distinction of being the only country producing all the 5 known commercially exploited silks, that is mulberry, tropical tassar, temperate tassar, eri and muga. The golden yellow muga silk is exclusively to India and the pride of the nation. Vanya silks are the products of rich salubrious climate and nourishing vegetation. Therefore, Vanya sericulture offers protection to the forest wealth and providing livelihood for the tribals. Indian Vanya silks enjoy a niche market the world over. At the moment, silk production in India is 23,060 metric tons, but the actual consumption of the country is around 30,000 metric tons. Hence, it is obvious that India's requirement of silk is much higher than its current production. Therefore, there is a lot of scope for the expansion of the industry. In addition to the domestic market, there is huge export potential for Indian silks. Mulberry, the sole food plant of silkworm, is a perennial and drought resistant which could be grown in varieties of soils both under irrigated and rain-fed conditions. So, where the other crops can't grow, there the farmer can grow mulberry and earn livelihood by undertaking sericulture. When most of the agriculture crops do not revive even after few showers, but mulberry being a perennial crop will sprout and yield leaves for silkworm rearing. Once mulberry garden is established, it will give consistent yield for 15 to 20 years with minimum expenditure for maintenance. Sericulture is highly suitable to small and marginal farmers as sericulture involves simple technology and requires low investment. It is the only cash crop which provides frequent attractive returns with minimum investment and low gestation period. Sericulture farmer can have 10 to 12 crops per annum. Sericulture industry is an excellent avenue for providing employment with various entrepreneurial opportunities for the rural development. Stability is a vital requirement for sericulture enterprise. With the onset of reforms to liberalize the Indian economy in July 1991, a new chapter has dawned for India and her billion-plus population. This period of economic transition has had a tremendous impact on the overall economic development of almost all major sectors of the economy. Sericulture industry is one among them. Survival in the new global business market calls for improved productivity. Due to the market becoming worldwide, sericulture industries have to upgrade the quality of the products, use technology skillfully, and utilize all the avenues provided by the government in order to face the increased competition. The challenge before India is to reorient the production strategies to suit the requirements of both national and international markets by developing the good quality silk with low cost. Now, we will see about challenges and strategies. It is obvious that the Indian sericulture industry is at crossroads. Therefore, there is an urgent need to bring in a holistic approach, that is, from leaf to fabric production, and marketing and ancillary units of the industry to produce the best at the lowest possible cost so that the country could benefit and rely less on the imported silk in view of the present global scenario. Production of silk in India has been rationally driven by domestic demand, mainly for heavier handloom based fabric like saris. Silk in India produced from the hardier and indigenous variety of multi-voltane silkworms. The silk produced from these silkworm strains is not gradable. The changing consumer tastes in the domestic market from the traditional heavy handloom fabrics like saris to lighter materials are sending signals to the industry to reorient its production plans to match the changing demand patterns. Hence, the challenge before the Indian sericulture industry is to orient the production strategies to suit the requirement of both national and international market demand by developing the bivoltane silk sector. The Indian reeling sector is mainly cottage based and highly decentralized, employing a variety of reeling devices and producing low to medium quality of silk in limited quantities. The equipments used in the silk industry are simple, conventional and less capital intensive. This leads to the low value addition, heavy dependence on manual skill and attention, and scale and scope economies being negligible. These features create a situation where the industry becomes highly competitive, a very risky one and inhabited by many small firms. Much needs to be done in the silk machines manufacturing sector. Unless adequate infrastructure and capabilities are built within the country, it will be difficult to be competitive. There are certain gaps and links that are amiss. Fragmented and very small units would not have the strength to upgrade or understand and react to the market forces. In this context, systematic and organized restructuring of the silk industry to emphasize and enhance the production of high quality raw silk on a commercial scale so as to facilitate export of Indian raw silk and lowering of imports is an essential component in global perspective. The prerequisites for a progressive silk industry would be the availability of raw silk of the right quality in adequate quantities at competitive prices consistently. The present day problem is that the raw silk lots are quite small and the cocoon prices are quite high, and as a consequence, the demand for good quality raw silk in bulk quantity at a competitive price is not being met. The multi-end reeling technology designed and developed by the Central Silk Technological Institute, Bangalore, addressing the quality and productivity issues provides the advantages of pollution-free working conditions, reduced health hazards and discourages child labor. There is a strong domestic market for silk in India which is expected to continue for a long period. However, the domestic production of raw silk is not sufficient to meet the rising domestic and export requirements. Hence, the country is dependent upon imports to fill the demand and supply gap, mostly from China. Import of raw silk and silk fiber to India negatively affected the domestic producers and forced the Indian government to impose anti-dumping duty. Self-sufficiency in domestic production of raw silk and suitable business protection for domestic producers of silk may be a solution. The past 4 years trend show that the demand-supply gap marginally reduced, probably due to improvement in domestic raw silk production and its quality. India has a number of distinct silk weaving clusters that are known for unique designs, weaves, colors, patterns, traditional knowledge and processes that are specific to a geographical region and are guarded for centuries. Over the period, these products have become a brand by themselves and recognized by their place of origin. Muga silks of Assam, Mysore silks of Mysore, Kanjipuram silks of Kanji, brocades of Banaras, Pochampalli saris, Gadwal silks, or just to cite a few. The globalization has brought about enormous challenges to the trade and industry. The GI Act stipulates protection of the market of the producers and safeguards the interest of the consumers of these unique products through registration and taking infringement action against the infringers. It is believed that the IPR protection of unique textile products of the country with a predetermined market linkage strategy would help in brand building of the product, providing market linkages, generating more employment opportunities and enhanced income to the stakeholders. Hope all traditional silks will get the protection under the GI registry umbrella to avoid the exploitation, especially in view of globalization. With the cheaper silk-like imitations, the consumers are easily being drawn away from the silk. They are trying to derive a pseudo satisfaction of wearing a fabric with designs and colors hitherto available only on silk and the feel and appearance with the resemblance of silk in the market. There are numerous other textile materials sold in the name of silk, that is art silk, artificial silk and other glamorous names. It is time that we educate consumers about the virtues of silk that makes it worthy of possession and drive home the fact that only silk is silk. The emotional chode, luxury image, status and eco-friendly nature of silk is to be brought to focus, and this can happen with the strategy for generic promotion of silk. In view of this, Silk Mark was launched on 17th June 2004 with an initiation of Central Silk Board, Ministry of Textiles, with major objectives such as protect the interests of the consumer, protect the interests of genuine traders and manufacturers of silk, generic promotion of natural silk. Efforts for quality improvement should necessarily include quality-based pricing of cocoons prior to transaction. Quality standards for seed cocoons, commercial eggs, reeling cocoons and raw silk is of utmost importance to build quality at all stages. Create a brand image for silks from India and build quality into the products, blending heritage with the market requirements. One of the serious problems for the sericulture industry is the wide fluctuations in cocoon prices. Unless steps are taken to have efficient and effective marketing organization to prevent wide fluctuations in the prices of cocoons, farmers will not have assured income, and also new farmers may hesitate to take up this vocation. Hence, the just and efficient marketing conditions will go a long way in better the conditions of sericulturists. Sericulture, with its unique features, play an important role in upgrading the socio-economic conditions of the rural folk and with employment opportunities to the educated rural youth and women. Therefore, there is a need to provide appropriate forward and backward linkages with necessary technical backup will provide a gateway to the future prosperity of the industry. India has the distinction of being the only country in the world producing all the 5 commercially exploited silk varieties. The Vanya silks have more potentialities to grow as very Indian silk in the global market. Being treated as tribal crafts of the hill folks, these silks have great commercial importance because of a huge demand in Indian as well as foreign markets. This is one of a huge area to be focused. To conclude, in this session, we have discussed sericulture in India, strengths and weaknesses of sericulture sector in India. We have also discussed about challenges and strategies of sericulture in India. To summarize, the Indian silk industry is an integral part of the Indian textile industry and is among the oldest industries in India. Sericulture, with its unique features, play an important role in upgrading the socio-economic conditions of the rural folk and preferred rural enterprise in India. The recently developed tropical technology, which is low cost and appropriate, may be applied to develop and expand the sericulture industry in India. Sericulture brings significant change both in social and economic spheres of rural and semi-urban areas with its unique features. Globalization posed several challenges for the Indian silk industry. The need of the hour is to produce more bivoltane silk for the production of graded silk with advanced technical support with best competitive price to meet the growing demand of quality silk at national and international level according to the changing fashion. Hence, it's time for all who involved directly or indirectly in the sericulture industry to join the hands to sail off the sericulture industry to the banks of safety and prosperity.